Hey my friend, ወደ ቻናሌ እንኳን በደህና መጣችሁ። ወለተ ኪዳን ወይም ዳማካሴ ነኝ። ዛሬ ላወራላችሁ የፈለኩት is about the issue with trying to intellectualize your spiritual awakening or trying to deny your spiritual awakening. Especially you would know and understand what I'm going to talk about if you are a man, because most of the resistance comes with our masculine energy. The masculine is a resistant energy. As I said last time, masculine and feminine energies የሚባሉት ነገሮች በጾታ የሚገደቡ ነገሮች አይደሉም፣ ግን በብዛት ማስኩሊን የሆነው ማስኩሊን የሚሆኑት on the spectrum ወደ ማስኩሊን የሚያደሉት ወንዶች ናቸው፣ ወደ ፌሚኒን የሚያደሉት ደግሞ ሴቶች ናቸው ማለት ነው። So what happens when you try to intellectualize your spiritual awakening? Like አሁን እየተፈጠረ ያለው ነገር, like it could be with science, it could be with your education, or you just try to deny it all along and say that's something that happens by accident. I would just stick to the traditional God. I would just stick to having just a simple faith and then do whatever I want to do, right? Especially for men these days, it looks as if they have something to prove to the society because they were told to be the heroes, or they were told to be to prove themselves one way or the other. So even to impress women, I have experiences with men who tried to impress me with how much money they have or their educational status, or these things, their possessions or stuff like that. So anyway, when you try to trying to intellectualize your spiritual awakening is like questioning how you came out of your mother's genitals, how you actually lived in her womb. When you try to understand it, if I asked you, how did you come to be? How did you exist? How it started, your existence? You would tell me my father's sperm hit my mother's eggs and then I was conceived, right? And the story goes like that. But the question is, who created, who made that process possible? Who made it possible? And you may say God or energy or something that you don't know about, right? And I'm okay with not knowing how the universe works, how we are, how mysterious we are, and not having the answers. I understand that. I've been there. But opening yourself up so you can understand is something else, right? So when we try to intellectualize our spiritual awakening, like የዛኔ የሆነብኝን ነገር understand አድርጌዋለሁ, it's my sixth sense, like it's the sixth sense, there's the pineal gland, and then it activates our third eye and this region, this area. It doesn't mean God is involved with all of that. I'm doing it by myself, right? So first of all, you deny your spiritual awakening out of your wounds, like because you have wounds of the inner child, the heart child, or you have wounds that was caused by the society. You have wounds that was caused by sexual abuse, physical abuse, and then that made you to not want to accept the love that God has for you, okay? So, but I'm bebzat denial because I'm doing it. It's me who's doing all these things. God is not involved in this. The angels are not involved in this. The universe is just a random place. The patterns are just accidents. My life is just accident. That person that I've met just a couple of months ago, to whom I had a very strong connection with, just as accident. So we try to, say, like a person might be, by the way, these things that I'm talking about, it works, it both applies to men and women. I'm not in any way saying it's just only men, but it exhibits in men in a very strong way. Men are more it's even by many spiritual mentors, and I've read it in many books, that women are more closer to spiritual awakening than men, because we are divine in our nature. Not to say that men aren't divine, but like we are in the hierarchy of existence, we are the primary agents of birthing to material things, like materializing things. We are so very much involved with that. So we are open to spiritual experiences much more than men. So the issue with resisting your spiritual awakening is that you continue to suffer. The unhappiness may be doubling by now, the discontentment, the dissatisfaction, the boredom, the anxiety, the depression may be intensified by now, because now you have seen something um, that embodies light within itself. You have experienced the divine love through a person that you've met, or through a sort of satori moment of satori, a brief spiritual awakening. Now you saw the other side of the other side of things, the opposite of what you've been through, the battles that you've been through, just battling with demons, battling in this world, just looking around and just wondering what your place is in this world. And then you are hit by this experience. You are called by the divine and by your soul, because, my friend, you had a contract. First of all, your soul had made a contract in this lifetime about the things that it's going to do in this lifetime, it's going to discover in this lifetime, about the people, with the people that it's going to be meeting with, and being on a mission with. You wouldn't be spiritually awakened if you are not going to do something greater than who you are, greater than your wounds. So when you're called by your soul, the first call, you may answer because you know it's something different, and your ego is one probably expecting to make it its own. Yeah, I made it happen. Oh my gosh. Oh, I have experienced enlightenment. I made this happen. It's my doing. Yeah. But then the further you go, your ego starts to be questioned. The further you go, your sense of self begins to be modified. The further you go, the rabbit hole takes you down to places you are not comfortable with, and maybe it seems as if you're dying. There are different stages of awakening. The initial stage and the final stage are especially very, very challenging, okay? When you start, and also when you are already